To lesson 10, this is how to create an adjustment layer. What is an adjustment layer? Well, as you can see, when you have a situation, which will be most After Effects sessions, we have multiple film strips, logos, images, whatever it is, on a layer or on a timeline. You can set an adjustment layer to affect all the bits of film and images underneath that adjustment layer, so you don't have to individually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and apply adjustments to all. So let's explain that a little cleaner than I just did then. So as you can see here, we've just got our regular, we've got some of these from the old session, so let's just delete those and get back to our original film strip. And we're going to bring our image up to the top just so it sits on the top there. Maybe just crop it in a little bit just for the sake of selling this idea across. Make sure it's turned on as well. There's our steak and what is that, mash, and some yummy bacon bits in there. It's free range, I'm sure. So an adjustment layer we would place in here like this. So we go layer, new, adjustment, layer, new, adjustment layer. Now you'll see it prints in a layer there on top of everything. You can't see it, it doesn't affect the images, but what this means is rather than dropping and dragging controls onto your film strip, you can drop it onto this layer and it controls everything that sits underneath that layer. So let's try doing that for a second. Let's try black and white, which is pretty straightforward. That's going to do. We just literally drag in that effect on the adjustment layer, and look, everything, including the film strip, including the steak, is now black and white. This can be really handy if you've got multiple bits of footage and you want to do a final, you might want to make that look like a Super 8 thing, for example. So let's just say in this scenario you do. Let's go back to our project window, which is Command 0 if you were in Effects. Let's go to Effects Footage for a second and import, Command I or File Import, same thing. Let's import this film grain, old film grain overlay. We're going to drag that to the top of the image there and run it underneath the adjustment layer. Remember, everything has to sit underneath the adjustment layer. And as you can see, it's black, so you know what to do. Make it a screen layer to knock out the black. And we'll just play that. And you'll start seeing a little bit of age footage there. So a lot of those age footage files you can find on YouTube or stock libraries. There's lots of them around. This is just one I found off YouTube. But let's just say we like that look, and we want to perhaps, what do we want to do? We might want to tint, give it a bit of a sepia look. So we search for tint in our effects over there. Drag our tint onto the adjustment layer, and maybe change the white there to more of a kind of, you might have to get into those sort of pale browns or oranges, whatever it is, that's your flavour. Let's just say that looks pretty sepia to me. And as you can see, I've only applied it to the adjustment layer. Now, it's really key to know, it does save a bit of memory too when you do things like that. You compile everything onto one layer. So all of a sudden we're getting a bit of a poor man's aged film look. Obviously we didn't have digital cameras back then, so this could be a real good one to apply film grain on as well. So let's go to our effects and go grain. Sorry, let's just call grain, I think. Add grain for memory. Add grain, and we go over here in our effects windows. It's got the preview window there, which is supposed to just save you a bit of memory by giving you an example of what the grain's going to look like, but you can't really tell when it's that small. You have to go to final output And preset, I like Eastman Koenig, that's my favourite. There's plenty of options there, but as you can see, you can't really see it that size. Let's try another one. Is that more visible? No, let's go back to the first one. Sorry all. And let's play it a little bit, and as you blow that up, this might not look as grainy on your screen there looking at my tutorial, but it is grainy, and of course, you know, you can go back like you can in Photoshop with a smart layer and, you know, make adjustments. You might want bigger grain, you might want more intense grain, you might want to soften it a bit, up to you. Very cool little handy trick to know is the adjustment layer, just for the sole purpose of doing bulk wholesale moves on your whole project. Let's just see what that looks like. There's probably a way to get all those colours out too, but very handy. Grain, if you are adding grain on film, really eats up RAM to render, because it's literally drawing JPEG for JPEG per frame, so it does take a while, but if you're not in a hurry, the end result can look really cool. Let's just take that back to 1. I don't think it likes that big chunky grain that I suggested. And that right there is basically how we make an adjustment layer. So just before we leave on that, you'll know that if anything, let's go back to our project window by clicking in here and go Command 0. One important thing to know, if you are bringing in new layers of film or footage, let's just say in this case the fire, and you place it above the adjustment layer, it only affects your layer and everything underneath it. So that's how the hierarchy works for that one. Thanks guys, that's the end of the adjustment layer tutorial.